Hey, what's up, guys? This is Esther here. Today I wanted to go over a little tip and a trick that you see the best players, the pros, they constantly have the best centering. And so I'll make this video short, but basically when you have the crosshairs and that little dot on the screen, as you're moving, keep it in front of you and where you expect people to be. So a lot of times, like when if I'm playing Search and Destroy, or if I'm playing Warzone and I die and I'm inspecting somebody else, the biggest thing I see is like they're looking down. And so the drawback is right now, if somebody comes around that corner, right, and I'm looking down, I have to go up and then aim and then shoot him. Let me find actually a better example. So let's say, so even like right now, as I'm moving around, I have to be kind of like lined up where people might be. So let's say there's a guy down there and I'm looking like I said, a lot of people, it's very common for them to like, kind of like look, they'll have the thing on the floor but their eyes will be up there, you know, so your eyes have to line up with the crosshair and that little dot. So as I'm running, I should be aiming here. If I see someone, I just start shooting at him right there. But if I'm looking down here, if that guy turns around the corner, I have to move up and then aim in and then shoot, and that a lot of times you're already dead. So that's like a thing to kind of just practice on, is like as you're moving around, you know, where are people going to potentially be. Is a guy going to be over here on top? No. And then kind of like here, like even as I'm trying to head to these stairs, don't look down, don't look over here, because like I said, people will look with their eyes here, but their crosshairs and their centering is just like here. So as somebody comes in, it's, you know, like it just that half a second to kind of like move in and then ADS in, that's what can like get you killed oftentimes. And then another situation is like, let's say this is your teammate and they just died, so you know someone is down there somewhere. So instead of kind of like having your thing here and you're coming around the corner and you're looking with your eyes here but your crosshairs are down here, instead of doing that, make sure you have it like lined up exactly. So first you go here, you're like, okay, someone in this window, oh yeah, he's in the window, okay, he's dead. Let's say you go around and I'm lined up in the window, he's not there, and I'm also behind cover right now, right? So if somebody's down there, they can't shoot me. So I lined up, okay, the guy's not there, oh, he's over here, that's where he died from. So as you're moving, you're switching your crosshairs and then you shoot that guy, and he's dead. So that's kind of like the peak centering. And then like I was saying, as you're moving around, you're kind of like, when I'm going there, I have it lined up. So if someone comes around this corner, I start shooting right away, right here, window. So it's kind of like a thing to kind of like just practice as you're moving around. Have your centering where people might be. Let's say somebody calls out and they're like, oh, they're in this building right here. So instead of like I said, instead of looking with your eyes here and your crosshairs are down here, as you're sliding in, have your crosshairs right like where that guy might potentially be, because if he is, you can hit fire, you can shoot, and he's dead. Instead of, you know, coming in and then, like I said, looking with your eyes here, then if you do see he's here, you're gonna be like, oh, at the last second, you know. So your crosshair placement is super important, like you're ready right there. So even like right here, if let's say he ends up moving, he's like camping on this side, he's around this corner and he's baiting you. So he was here, let's say he was shooting it, and then your teammate's like, oh, he's in that window, so he hears you coming. So he's like, I'm gonna go camp over here, I'm gonna bait him out. So he's kind of like doing, like, he's just like peeking back and forth, right? So as you come around, you're like, oh, he's not here. And then when you're like running, it should be like right here, because obviously he's not gonna be here, right? So you shouldn't kind of be like walking right here. Your crosshairs should be right there. And then if he comes, you know. And then another thing that it really helps with, that people kind of overlook, is that it helps with your aim. Because if you're looking down, like I said again, and then a guy comes around that tank where I was earlier, you're gonna try, you know, like you die in milliseconds, right? So you're trying to quickly snap on and shoot him. So if you're getting shot from here and then you try to like aim in, and then you kind of like you might overshoot it, you know, or you might undershoot it, and you start shooting here, and then you're trying to like lead. But if your centering is already on point, you just have to kind of like shoot and like control that initial burst to kill him. Versus you're down here, and then you're kind of like, you know, you might overshoot, you might undershoot, and that really affects your recoil. So that was kind of like the basics. Let me go ahead and show y'all some you know, some examples where the centering just like saved my life, or it helped me like, you know, make the better play. But like I said, once again, like as you're going, always kind of like be ready where people are going to be. Never look down, never like kind of stare, like no one's here, you know, no one's gonna like pop out from there. They might pop out from here, right here, you know. So like as you're coming around, kind of like have it ready. All right, no one's here, now the next thing could be down there, you know. So like as you're turning around the corner, you're kind of like looking here, you know, and then looking there. Never like out here. You're always kind of like aiming where people might potentially be. So here's a real life example of where centering got me kill really good on this guy, and then it saved my life on the second kill. So this first one I'm gonna show you, it's gonna be basically what I was saying, how like when you know where someone is, already have it centered, and so you'll see this guy kind of gets like melted, because I myself had information on him. So let's take a look real quick. So I shoot him, broke his plates, and then my centering, like right when I come around that corner, I'm already centered onto him. I snap, and then he's dead. So right there was that, like I was saying, like when you're around corners, when you're peeking, try to have good centering. Right here, I have no idea there's a guy right here. So normally somebody could have the crosshair here, it could be here, 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 but my thing was just lined up. You'll see right, it's like lined up like perfectly. And like I said, I don't know there's a guy there. I also play max sensitivity, so sometimes my centering will be like slightly off, but you'll see right here, I'm just slide canceling. I don't know there's a guy here. I'm literally like on his chest leg area, and then I snap on. Look at my health, so weak. I should have died there technically, but because of my centering, I didn't. So remember I was saying how if my thing was here, I would have to move here, and so in that time for me to aim from the floor or from here to there, it's gonna take me like a bullet or two, and that's where he gets a bullet or two off quicker, and I die. So I end up getting the kill there. Excuse my editing from this is kind of an old video. This is not like full centering, but like I was ADS centering on him, and then this is where it's kind of bad right here. Look how I'm kind of like looking at the floor. I adjust it later, because you know, like I like see it or I notice it, but right now if somebody comes around this corner, you know, because he can see, you know, like here, if this guy's like over here somewhere on this side, and he's like, oh, there's people fighting and people are dying, so like let me go peek and let me go see. So if he comes around this corner, I'm centered down here. So like just like how I lived that last gunfight, if a guy peeks around the corner and I'm looking at the floor, you know, I'm dead. So you'll see like right here, I pull it back because I'm like, somebody could be coming here, but it's kind of like a thing where you're just constantly thinking about the positioning, and so that is one like perfect example. Alright, in this example, I was up top over here. I heard some people you know, like walking around underneath me, so I know there's people down here, and when I jumped down, I could have, you know, had my crosshairs and my dot on the ground. I could have had it on the side of the wall, on this side of the wall, but you'll see as I jump down, as I'm turning, like my dot is exactly where I might expect people to be. So I jump down, there's a guy right there, I snap on, and then snap on the second guy, and then you can see like the auto mantle for this one kind of threw it off. And then like I said, I play on max sensitivity, so those minor adjustments a lot of times will like get me killed. So right there kind of like got a little bit off, but right when I jump down, I'm centered. I ADS right away because there's a guy right there, and then I get the easy two-piece. So in this clip you can see that, or you can hear that I have callouts from my teammate. I don't remember the full exact situation for this, but he called it out. So you see, like as I turn around the corner, my crosshairs are first obviously in front, but then right after I start at the stairs, and then you'll see right when I see him, I'm already locked on onto him, and then I just have to like shoot, you know. And he kind of did catch me off guard, but since my crosshairs were already there, because I thought he was gonna be a little bit lower, and so I get like the easy kill, and it's because my teammate called it out. I had my crosshair placement, my centering perfectly on him, got the shots, and then, you know, won the gunfight. Because, you know, I did have my teammates with me, but there's a lot of times where it's a one-on-one, and so you have to win your one, and that's where, you know, ideally you would win it. So in this situation, I heard a guy that was outside, and then I basically came around the corner, and you'll see I don't see anyone, and then right there is when I track him by the stairs. And so because he's going, he ends up like jumping, and so, you know, if I had not centered properly, I would have been overshooting him and then trying to follow him, you know. But because I had already centered those stairs, when he just went, the tracking was so much easier, and then I just kind of followed him. So that's where like the recoil also will be a lot easier to manage, because you're not overcompensating, you're not undercompensating, you're already kind of locked in, so you're making more minor adjustments. Well, that's the video, guys. Hopefully you found something you know, helpful and useful. One of the tips or techniques that I was telling you all about, you know, this translates to you know, any game, any FPS game. So if you have your centering, you know, like on point, you will win a lot of your gunfights. You'll get better at the game. You know, it's a lot of times it's just like putting yourself in a better situation, a better position. So, you know, always have good centering, kind of anticipate where people might be ready. You know, like sometimes, like if you're looking here, you know, somebody will shoot you from there. So like, you know, it happens, but at least you can kind of snap on quicker than just kind of like being down and away and just kind of like out of the fight. So, you know, it's something that I like, even the first clip that I showed y'all, you know, it's something that I'm always trying to work on and improve as well. So, you know, if you guys thought it was great, then, you know, just practice on it, and you know, we'll all get better. Alright guys, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Take care. Peace.